What's up, guys? So I got this video idea to kind of talk about how I plan on staying in shape for the rest of my life. And I'm just going to kind of outline my thought process and things I've kind of thought about in regards to staying in shape forever. Obviously, there's certain things that'll come into play later on, like TRT and a few different methods that I'm not really going to cover in this video, but I'm basically going to talk about all the simple little things and kind of like the basics of what everyone can do to stay in shape forever, because it's not something that you have to only have in your 20s or your 30s. It's really just a mindset and a protocol. And once you know what to apply and how to apply it and exactly what to do, staying in shape forever becomes a lot easier than you might think. It really just becomes who you are once you understand what to do and how to do it. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. So the first thing when it comes to staying in shape forever is you have to understand that calories is ultimately what's going to matter when it comes to your weight. And you can kind of look at calories as energy, and there's a number to it. So everybody has a specific number that they can eat per day as far as calories that would keep them the same weight. Now, a lot of people don't want to figure that number out because they don't want to go through the trial and error. But the way you would do that is basically you would pick a week or two to kind of eat the same things, and then you would track those foods, and then you would get that number. For example, if I'm off work for a couple weeks and I want to do it during that time, I would eat the exact same thing every day. I mean, a couple weeks is a long time. Let's say you do it for 5 days straight and you weigh yourself before and then you weigh yourself after. If you're the same exact weight after those 5 days and you eat the same exact thing, the same exact numbers as far as measurements, then that's your calories. Then that's your maintenance calories. So if you track everything and you say, okay, I tracked meal number one perfect. I know it's 700 calories. I tracked meal number two perfect. I know it's 700. And I've done that before. I've actually made all my meals 700 calories exactly, just so I kind of don't have to think about it too much. But if you track your 3 or 4 meals per day and then you add up those numbers and then you do that for a week, and I know it sounds like a lot of work, but I mean, essentially, if you do this for a week, you can kind of solve a lifelong problem that people have. So I took the time to do that, and it's been pretty rewarding for me because I can completely control my body. But like I was saying, you plan and you track those 4 or 3 meals, and then you understand what the amount of calories are that you ate per day. You repeat that for 5 days. And if you gained a pound, then you know that you need to lower the calories a little bit. If you lost a pound, then you know that you need to raise the calories a little bit. If you stayed the exact same weight, then you understand that, okay, these are my maintenance calories. And remember, there's an easier way to do this too. You could just do this by putting in your information on MyFitnessPal, and it'll give you a rough estimate of what your maintenance calories are. But if you want to get it perfect and you want to get it super tailored to you specifically, then you would want to actually do the trial and error method that I mentioned. And then you would have your exact numbers for yourself in your phone. And it would never change because you're you. You're not changing. You're the same. So you figure out your maintenance calories for the weight you're at. Once you figure that out, then you know, okay, if I want to stay this weight, this is what I eat. If I want to lose 2 pounds per week, I just take off this amount of calories. If I want to add 2 pounds per week, I just add this amount of calories. It just gives you somewhere to start. Anyway, I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible, and I don't want this to become a calories and numbers video. So, long story short, the first step you'd want to do is understand what your maintenance calories are. And you guys are smart. If I give you guys one question and I say, find out your maintenance calories, or I say, what are your maintenance calories? And I gave you $1 million to figure that out, every single person would figure it out. It's just that people don't want to take the time to really sit with one sentence and truly figure that out. But if you knew what the reward was on the other end of finding your maintenance calories, you would truly get it done. So I try to just keep it simple, and the people who really care, they'll get it done. The people who don't, they're probably not going to finish the video regardless. So understanding calories, cool. You understand your maintenance calories, now you can move forward. Now, the next thing you want to do is understand macros. Macros are just your protein, carbs, and fats. Once you understand how much protein you need per day, then you can maximize muscle building and you can maximize muscle growth, or at least maintain what you have. Then you want to understand that your body needs a certain amount of fat per day. Once you understand that, the rest of your calories come from carbohydrates, and that's more so your pure energy source. You can look at carbohydrates as pure energy, pure, available, ready to use energy. Hopefully, I haven't lost anybody to this point. This is supposed to be a light video, so I'm not trying to go super deep into all this stuff. Obviously, if you care enough and you really want to get this done, you'll look it up. You'll go on Google and you'll kind of do some research around the things I'm talking about, and you'll truly figure it all out. It's very simple stuff. Next thing you want to do though is you want to understand the best choices of foods. So you understand your calories, you understand your macros. All foods are not built the same. So 100 calories of Cheetos and 100 calories from bananas is a completely different thing. And your body will use that and store that in a completely different way. But obviously, you can just eat the healthy stuff for the most part. In life, the 80-20 rule works in most realms. So if you do 80% healthy food, then you can do 20% unhealthy food. And that's kind of what I follow. It gives me the ability to still eat stuff like pizza, burgers, enjoy the different things in life, but also maintain who I am and who I said I was going to be. So far we understand calories, we understand macros, we understand the 80-20 rule. So we mostly eat healthy foods, but we still leave some room for some fun stuff. The next thing you want to do is pick a look. The look I kind of go for is the look that most guys go for, which is like a V taper, wider shoulders, smaller waist. And that's not as easy to maintain as it sounds because everybody has different genetics. But that's generally the look that guys will go for. Women will go for more of an hourglass look, but you want to pick a look so you have a target. Obviously, if you're going to set a goal, you want to know where you want to end up. So you got to pick something. Maybe find somebody that looks good to you, find somebody that might have a similar body type to you, something that seems attainable, and then you pick that and you try to strive for that. The next thing you want to do is do the same thing over and over. That might sound like the wrong information, but when you go online and you see all these influencers and different people in the fitness industry switching up their workouts all the time and doing all this fancy stuff, that's just marketing. That's not really what gets them there. That's not really what they do. Most of them actually pick compound movements, which are basically multi-joint movements or the major lifts. And they do those for about 3 to 5 years, and then they start to really take shape. Fitness doesn't come easy. It's not fast. It's not something you can just do for a few months and then see results. You really got to just keep your head down for a long period of time, and then you kind of run into the goal. Someday you're in the mirror and you're just looking at yourself and you're like, oh, okay, I actually reached it. You didn't even realize it because you really fell in love with just doing the process every day. And that's kind of the mindset that you want to have. So you're going to be doing the same thing over and over. I do the same exact workout every single time I go to the gym, 30 minutes about every other day or so. Same exact thing. I never change it unless somebody's on the machine and I'm just kind of antsy and I don't want to wait. Then I'll change it a little bit. But it'll still be just about the same movement, maybe a slightly different variation. And that'll only be because somebody's using my machine or I'm trying to switch it up, which is pretty rare. I know exactly what works. I know exactly the look I'm going for. I know exactly the calories I'm eating. I know exactly the macros I'm eating, the protein, carbs, and fats. I know what to do. I know where it's taking me. I know exactly what's happening. And that's where you want to be. You want to be in a relaxed state that you know you're actually walking towards your goal every day. You're not aggressively chasing it like you're starving for it. You're just simply taking steps towards it every day. And then you know, okay, within 3 to 5 years, I'll get where I want to get. I'm at that point already. I don't have any new fitness goals. I'm where I am. For the most part, all I try to do is either, lose like 5 pounds, maybe seven, or gain like 5 pounds, maybe seven, depending on if it's winter or summer. We're actually coming up on the summer now, so I'll be losing about 2 pounds this week and kind of see where I'm at. And then I'll probably lose another couple pounds within the next 3 weeks or so. And that's just by choice because why not? It's something to do. It gives me a little goal. It's not even a vain thing. It's just like I can do it, so I guess why not do it? And it's kind of like the perfect time to test your physique and kind of see how lean you can get is during the summer, where it'll actually be seen or where you'll have more opportunities to take your shirt off. So that's what I'll be doing. Really simple stuff. And you want to ignore the reward. That's a big part of this lifelong fitness thing. If you're going to do it for a long time and you plan on being fit at 75, you're not really chasing the goal like everybody else is. You really are just maintaining for a long period of time. So it's not something where you want to be hyper focused on getting there because there's really no end to it. You're just a fit person. Like fitness is who you are. So you're in shape. You're always going to be in shape. You've always been in shape. And that's kind of the mindset you want to have if you want to do it for a long time. If you think you're just going to kind of obtain it one day and reach a certain point where you're good to go, I promise you, you're going to change your goals every time you reach it. So if you say you want to lose 10 pounds, as soon as you lose 10 pounds, you're probably going to add another few pounds as far as a new goal. As soon as you build a little bit of muscle, you're going to be wanting to build more. So you're always going to move the goalpost regardless. So why not just say, I'm just going to do the best I can and make this a lifelong journey and enjoy the ride. Now, once you decide to go on this journey, you really have to understand what it means to quit the journey. So I told myself I'm going to be fit my entire life, which I will be. There's a 0% chance I'm not, because it's a part of who I am. It's a part of my ego, a part of what I do. But if you tell yourself you're going to do this for the rest of your life and you're going to maintain this even as an older man and you truly mean it, now what does it mean to step away from that? So I'm on this journey and I'm on this path that's consistent. But if I get off this path, I know exactly what that means for me. I know exactly what I'll look like if I stop doing what I do. I literally can see it. If I walk around every day, I can see the 6'5" or the 6'3", 6'4" men who are tall and they used to be in good shape and they actually had a skinny frame and then now they have a little belly and it looks horrible to me. I don't want to look like that. So even with all of my discipline and my decision to do this as a lifelong thing, I still fluctuate 7 pounds. So imagine if I didn't choose to do this lifestyle. I would probably fluctuate 15 pounds, or I would just gain 2 pounds per year. A lot of people don't realize that as soon as they turn 18, they start gaining 2 pounds per year. And it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. It's just slow enough for you not to pay attention to it. A lot of your girls end up doing this too. You marry somebody and they start gaining 2 pounds per year or 1 pound per year. Think about if you stay married for 20 years and your wife gains 2 pounds per year. The first couple of years, you kind of like it. You won't even notice it. You probably be like, oh, she's getting thicker. It looks good on her if she's holding it in the right places. But you start to add up the years and you guys get married at 25 and by 45, it's a whole different thing. It's a whole new person. So that's what would happen to me if I didn't do this journey. That's what happens to most people. Most people are not conscious enough or pay attention enough to actually maintain their weight for a long period of time, like 10, 20, 40, 50 years. And I don't think I would be conscious enough and pay attention enough to do it either if I didn't pick this person that I want to be. So it's just something to think about. I think that everybody should kind of look at this as an opportunity to optimize yourself and to maintain who you say you're going to be. Nobody really pays attention to it. Oftentimes, the people that started off in decent shape or were athletes, they don't think they need to pay attention to controlling their body weight and understanding how calories, macros, and stuff works. But when you don't pay attention to this, it just kind of ends up spiraling out of control. And I think it's something that we should all kind of be educated on. I believe that honestly in high school they should do classes on this stuff to really give people a baseline of understanding how to read labels, understanding macro and micronutrients, understanding calories. I think it's important. My kids are already learning it. They already understand that each meal they want to eat around 400 to 600 calories, or let's say 300 to 600, because they know that that's kind of the distribution of energy they need for those 4 or 5 hours. They know that per day they need about 1,000 calories, let's say 1,200, whatever. I don't want to put a number on it for somebody to try to attack me and be like, you should give your kids more food. I do what I want with my kids and they're healthy and happy. Anyway, it's just a good skill to have. I think everybody should have some basic understandings of this stuff and we would be a better society for it. I think most people die from obesity, so why not educate them on the thing that's most likely to kill them? Anyway, hope you guys took something from this. Just a little conversation about fitness and that lifelong path, that lifelong decision that I think everybody should make. And I'll talk to you guys next time.